Hey everybody, I'm with Michael Robilio again from Concord Marine Electronics for this episode of Tech Talk. This is a good one for all you captains that are upgrading or moving to a new boat. So like I said, if you're moving up to a new build with your current owner, or maybe you're jumping in on one, you're going to want to pay attention to this. Michael, I do have some questions.
Okay.
All right. This is not something the captains normally see. This is how you build a yacht, right?
Well, that's the electronic side of it, yes.
This is just electronics?
Yes, that's the electronics.
Can you go through that's a lot.
Yeah.
Can you go through the process of new build and what your involvement is to make sure that us captains don't run aground?
Well, when it comes to a new build, there's first a discovery meeting where we meet with the boatyard and the owner and the captain, and we find out what it is that they want. Like, do we want to have some classification, or are we going somewhere really remote? You know, what are the requirements of the system, or is it going to go up and down the east coast of the U.S. and not really try to go across on their own bottom?
Real quick, so what you're saying is how many radars, what kind of heavy-duty equipment you should have,
yes.
Sonar for ice sensing, icebergs, stuff like that.
Yes.
So you tailor it to basically what the owner's doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then once we have a good feeling for what the expectation of the finished product is, then that enables us to talk some more about the budget and the time frame and all those other little details that go with it.
Budget's a big deal.
Yeah, budget's usually the tough one.
Okay, so there's a lot going on there, and you try and get everything that they want in there.
Yes, yes. Okay. We try to achieve that budget, and sometimes we've got to put on a smaller piece of equipment, you know, or to save a few dollars. But
so how do you handle boats that are built out of the country?
Those are actually our favorite. Because the shipyards that we deal with usually have a U.S. owner. Mm-hmm. So we're meeting with the builder and the U.S. owner here, and then we're sending all of the equipment and drawings over to the international shipyard, wherever that might be.
Right.
And what happens a lot of times is there's a big savings because the shipyard personnel are putting in the wiring and mounting the equipment much more cost effectively than we can here in the U.S.
Oh.
So a lot of times there's a big savings in what they're going to do for us.
That's why this is so thick.
Yes.
And this is your team that does this.
Yes, it is.
That's a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
So now here we are. You've agreed on a budget. You've agreed on the boatyard. You've done the drawings. You send the equipment to them?
Yes, yes. We send it kind of like a kit. It's not just here's the box of equipment.
Okay.
But there's with a lot of the equipment, there's really specialized cable that's got to be run on a bigger boat because the cables that come with the hardware just aren't enough.
Right.
So we will extend those here, and we will number those wires to agree with the wire numbers on our drawing, so that when the shipyard personnel get there and they're working on the installation, it's very clear that wire number 107, this wire 107 that's in my hand goes...
Better end up over there.
Right, it goes from wherever, like let's say the arch down to the...
So I know wire running is a big deal. What is that? So what's the yard doing? About 85% of the work, part of that job?
Depending on the yard, it's anywhere from 85 to 95% completion.
Okay.
And then we're looking at 10-15% of the completion here in the U.S. But that includes programming everything, sea trials, activating warranties, lessons, so all that's part of the 10%.
I want to go back to warranties in a second, but basically to finish up this process, your team actually is on the boats for the last 15 whatever percent.
Yes.
Working with the captain.
Yes.
And getting everything together and functional and all talking to each other, and you hand the boat over.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yes.
Now, can you explain the warranty? Because my question is, well, that equipment was bought 2 years ago. What's the deal?
Right. So the regular way warranty gets handled is usually when it ships from the manufacturer to the dealer. That's when the warranty clock starts.
Right.
In our situation, we've worked a very special arrangement with most of our manufacturers where that warranty clock starts when the boat switches to the owner from the
Oh.
shipyard. So when the owner takes possession of the boat, that's the clock start date for the warranties.
I got you. Okay. This is really good info.
Yeah.
Now, so we've just walked through the build process, and now the boat's getting commissioned, the warranties have started. Is there anything that you will not calibrate for the captain?
The only thing we won't do is the depth offset. Everything else we'll do.
Why is that?
Well, because if we make a mistake on that depth offset and
the captain runs
the
aground?
screen says he's in 12 feet of water when in reality he's in 3 feet of water and he runs aground, it becomes our fault.
Because that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Every captain should make their own depth offset because
Yes.
they're the ones that are going to be hitting the bottom. All right, cool. That's a really cool process. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
It's been years in the making. We've delivered 170 new builds to date. So the process has refined.
I think you've got it down. All right, Michael. Appreciate it.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
All right, till next time. That was Tech Talk.